you can lose it, it's really not yours anyway. Hello there, this is Pastor Pete Pawelek. Thank you so much for joining me for this edition of the Daily Devo. As always, let me invite you to come over to my website, pastorpete.org. You can connect with me there, sign up to receive these daily Devos right into your inbox, and so much more there at pastorpete.org. Today I've been reflecting in Luke chapter 12, and this is the verse that jumped out at me. Jesus says, "Watch out and be on guard against all greed, because one's life is not in the abundance of his possessions." That's verse 15 of Luke chapter 12. Years ago, somebody told me what I began with today. If you can lose it, then it's not really yours anyway. You know, as we go through life, we accumulate things, we possess things, we start to own things. Early in our life, as we're beginning in our later teenage years and our 20s and even our early and mid-30s, we may not possess a whole lot. But as we go through life, we buy vehicles. Most of us eventually buy a home. Perhaps it's some other kind of asset that's in your portfolio, maybe a retirement account, or maybe it's an inheritance that you get later on in life. And we start to possess things. Maybe it's a boat, or maybe it's, it can be anything, land or equipment or a business that you buy or begin to run. And we begin to think of those, and we start to think of those as ours. But the reality is they can be taken away from us at any time. The reality is they're not really ours. We're just the stewards of them for a very, very short amount of time. And I think it's important that we keep that mindset when it comes to things we own, when it comes to things we possess. Because if we're not careful, we can fix our eyes on our possessions rather than keeping our eyes fixed on Jesus. I think that's the heart of what Jesus is getting after here. He says, watch out and be on guard. Be careful. Be on guard against all greed, because one's life is not in the abundance of his possessions. Your life is more than what you own. So if you don't own very much, that's good news. And guess what? If you own a lot, let's say you're Elon Musk and you're listening right now to the Daily Devo, it's good news for you too if you are the richest man in the world. Because at the end of it all, the great equalizer is eternity. And all we have as we walk into it is what we possess in our hearts. What really matters is who's in your heart. Is Jesus there or is he not? That's the only thing you're going to take with you to the other side. Everything else will get left here. You don't own it. You may possess it for a little while, but you don't own it, because at the end of the day, you can't take it with you when you go. Watch out and be on guard. Your life is not in the abundance of what you own or your possessions. Your life, what really counts, what really matters, is where your faith is, where your heart is, and what's in there. Fill your heart up with the good stuff. Store up for yourself treasure in heaven. Go out and be a blessing today. May God bless you as you bless others. I hope this has encouraged you. Come over and visit me at pastorpete.org.